When searching for the origins of our modern conscience, we usually point to the mid-20th century. We look at the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, or global climate accords, as the baseline for how civilized nations ought to behave. Yet the specific strategies we use today to manage issues like religious conflict, public health crises, and animal welfare were actually codified over 2,300 years ago, and they were written by an autocrat whose early reign was defined by calculated slaughter. Tracing these modern crisis solutions back to the 3rd century BCE requires us to rethink the history of human rights entirely. In 268 BCE, Emperor Ashoka ascended the throne of the Mauryan Empire in India. His subjects knew him as Chanda Ashoka, Ashoka the Fierce. He was a cold pragmatist who understood power purely through the lens of absolute control. He secured his crown by eliminating his own brothers. To maintain his grip on a territory that stretched from modern-day Afghanistan to Bangladesh, he relied on a pervasive spy network and specialized torture prisons designed to break political dissidents. This brutality reached its peak at the Battle of Kalinga. Ashoka's military machine crushed the independent kingdom of Kalinga on the eastern coast. The resulting numbers are staggering. 100,000 people were killed in the fighting, and another 150,000 were forcibly deported from their homeland. But as Ashoka walked across the blood-soaked mud of the battlefield, surrounded by the corpses of farmers and children, he felt profound horror. Ashoka realized that if the cost of a complete empire was the systematic annihilation of its people, his victory was a failure. He saw that a state built on the graveyard of its own citizens could not be sustained. This forced a radical shift in his statecraft. He abandoned the pursuit of land and began to pursue the welfare of the people. Following Kalinga, Ashoka embraced the teachings of Buddhism. He developed a concept called Dhamma, or moral law. He deployed Dhamma as a strict geopolitical strategy to unite his highly diverse empire. To codify this new statecraft, he ordered the construction of massive sandstone pillars and rock edicts along major trade routes and public gathering spaces throughout the subcontinent. Carved in the local Brahmi script, these inscriptions contained Ashoka's new laws and direct, intimate messages to his subjects. He used these pillars to openly confess his remorse for the slaughter at Kalinga. An absolute monarch carving his own vulnerabilities and moral limitations into public stone was something entirely absent from the ancient world. Rulers boasted of conquests. They did not ask for forgiveness. Ashoka's edicts directly address issues we struggle with today. Take religious polarization. In his 12th Rock Edict, Ashoka laid out a specific policy for managing sectarian tension in a multi-faith society. This diagram illustrates the logic he inscribed. If you overly praise your own religion while aggressively condemning others, the hostility you project outward immediately degrades your own faith. Mutual respect, he argued, is a structural requirement for a stable society. He applied this same systemic thinking to the environment, establishing state-level conservation policies. The empire funded veterinary hospitals to treat injured animals. They planted botanical gardens to cultivate medicinal herbs for public use, and legally protected specific vulnerable animal species from slaughter. In the realm of criminal justice, Ashoka shifted the state's primary function from punishing enemies to caring for its citizens. He created a new class of officials known as the Dhamma Mahamatras, ministers of moral law. These were ancient precursors to human rights watchdogs. Their specific job was to inspect prisons and the use of torture and ensure the fair treatment of marginalized people. By combining religious tolerance, environmental protection, and justice reform, Ashoka engineered a working welfare state. He executed this design millennia before the concept even appeared in Western political thought. The tragic irony of Ashoka's reign is what followed after it ended. His successors lacked his intense moral discipline. Within 50 years of his death, the centralized authority of the Mauryan Empire fractured and collapsed. Over the centuries, the Brahmi script itself fell out of use. People forgot how to read it. The jungle swallowed the pillars, turning the world's first written declarations of human rights into silent, unreadable mysteries. It wasn't until 1837 that British and Indian antiquarians finally deciphered the forgotten Brahmi script, unlocking the meaning behind the scattered monuments. When these words finally became readable, they didn't reveal a list of taxes or royal genealogies. They revealed a sophisticated blueprint for a moral society, one that provided public health care and religious freedom centuries before those ideas appeared in the West. When India gained independence in 1947, the founders of the new republic reached back to this exact ideology. They adopted the lion capital of Ashoka, a sculpture from one of his pillars, as the official national emblem. They placed the Ashoka chakra, the wheel of Dharma, directly at the center of the modern Indian flag, cementing his principles of unity and moral governance into the identity of a modern democracy. It is a strange historical truth that our most comprehensive ancient blueprint for human rights was authored by a man who began his career as a mass murderer. Ashoka proved that true power is the discipline to heal, rather than the capacity to destroy. If a tyrant commanding the ancient world's deadliest military could choose compassion over fear, our modern, divided world possesses the exact same capability.